Well, in this video, guys, just as I've promised, I said we are going to look at reduction formulas, grade 11. Even if you're in grade 12 or any suitable grade, there's always a room for learning, right? Well, if you're new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe. You only subscribe once. Like and comment, right? It's free of charge. Well, in this video, we are going to look at reduction formulas. Well, guys, I want us I want to tip you with something. Then you must know your CAST diagram. Remember, the CAST diagram is divided into four quadrants: quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So remember, it's 90 degrees here, it's 180 degrees here, 180, that's 180, that's 270, that's 360, then 0 degrees. So at the first quadrant, this is where we find 90 minus theta. Then we also find 360 plus theta at the first quadrant. This is all trigonometric ratios are positive here. In this case, all trigonometric functions, all functions are positive here. All trigonometric functions are positive. Your sine, your cos, your tan, they are positive here. You just have to know that all here, they are positive. Let me just put this. They are positive. Then here we have 90 plus theta. This is where sine is positive. And we also have 180 minus theta. But the other trigonometric ratios are negative. It's only sine that is positive in this case. Then at the third quadrant, we have 180 plus, sorry, my pen, 180 plus theta. Then this is where we find tan. Tan is positive in this case. Then that's the third quadrant. This is where tan is positive. The other trigonometric functions are negative. So when it comes to the fourth quadrant, this is where we find 360 minus theta. 360 minus theta. This is where, remember, the best way to remember this, I always say all stations to Cape Town. All stations to Cape Town. So you know that here it's C, which is cos. This is where cos is positive, but the other functions are negative in this case, right? So you need to know your CAST. We call this a CAST diagram. You need to know your CAST diagram by head so that they're able to work out this reduction formula. Then what does the question requires us to do? We are told to simplify, to make it simpler. We can see that cos it's 180 plus theta. How is cos at the third quadrant? Cos at the third quadrant it's negative. So you're gonna put an equal sign here. So you're going to put an equal sign. So this will be negative cos. It's not a home for cos. Then you put negative cos theta there. Then let's go to sine. How is sine at the fourth quadrant? Sine at the fourth quadrant, it's negative. It's not a home for sine. Remember. So we are going to have negative sine theta. Therefore, where are we going with this? Therefore, where are we going with this? We are at the denominator. We are being told that cos 360 minus theta, it's a home for cos. Remember, this is where cos is positive. So this will be positive cos theta plus, let me just put brackets there, cos, it's a home for cos, right? What about sine 180 minus theta? Sine 180 minus theta, it's a second quadrant where sine is positive. So we are going to have positive sine theta. Positive sine theta. All right, that was our first step. Then what about our second step? Our second step, guys, since these trigonometric ratios are multiplied by each other, they multiply each other, you have to cancel. We don't just cancel. You only cancel when they multiply, right? And when there's division, that's where you cancel. You don't cancel when there's addition. You don't cancel when there's a subtraction. I hope I'm clear in that, right? So what do? We can see that cos and cos, they go, sine and sine, they go. Then negative and negative, that's positive. Positive and positive, that's positive. So 1 divided by 1 will be 1. So the solution here will be 1. That's the solution for number 2, our question number 2. Then let's go to number 2. We are given sine squared 360 minus theta minus cos 360 minus theta and cos 180 plus theta. Well, for this, in this case, you need to factor out for the first function here. You are going to do what? You are going to open the bracket. Then we are going to say sine 360 minus theta and close. Then put the square outside, right? So let's rewrite this as the way they are. Cos 360 minus theta and cos 180. All right. Cos 180 plus, my pen is getting stuck. That's theta here. Cos 180 plus theta. Then you put a bracket here. Right, you put a bracket. Let me try to use this one. Okay. Then what do we do from there? Second step. What's our second step, guys? What will be our second step? Second step, we ask ourselves, how is sine at the fourth quadrant? Sine at the fourth quadrant, it's negative. So we're going to have negative sine theta squared. Then you ask yourself again, how is cos at the fourth quadrant? It's a home for cos, so that will definitely be cos, positive cos theta, right? So let's just put it as like the way as it is. Cos 180 plus theta, it's a home for tan. This is where tan is positive. So in other words, we are going to have negative cos theta. I hope it makes sense, right? So from here, we can continue further. So when you square sine there, this will be sine. So remember, the negative will be out when you square. So this will be sine squared theta. So what is cos times cos? That will be cos squared theta, negative and negative, that will be positive. So we're going to have, it forms an identity. So this will be cos squared theta. So what is sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, guys? Sine squared plus cos squared theta, guys, it's what we call a square identity. So this will be 1. Right? So that's how it is, guys, with sorry for the background noise. At times I get distracted by it, but it's fine. Let's proceed, guys. Let's proceed to other questions. Well, guys, number 3, simplify. Well, number 3, when they ask you such questions, they usually say simplify without the use of calculator. Let's say simplify without the use of calculator. Well, first thing first, we need to reduce this. So if you reduce 330, we can reduce it by 360, by a function value of 360. When you say 360 minus 30, you're getting 330, right? So in other words, so this will be sine 360 minus 30. And sine 360 minus 30, so 360 degrees minus 30 degrees. Then let's reduce 120. 120, we can reduce it by 180. So we could just say 180. 180 minus what? Minus 60, so that we get 120 there. So you must get here when you subtract or add, right? So what about 225? 225, it's made up of 180 plus 45. 45, it's a special angle, right? So this should be plus This will be plus tan 180, right? Plus 45 degrees. Sorry, my handwriting. This is 45. Times, this is 45, guys, right? So this is 45. Okay. All right. So second step, we ask ourselves. How is sine at the fourth quadrant? We know that sine, guys, at the fourth quadrant it's negative, so we are going to have negative sine 30. Negative sine 30 degrees. What about cos at the second quadrant? That's going to be negative cos 60 degrees. So plus, how is tan at the fourth quadrant? It's a home for tan. So it's a home for tan. That will be positive 45 degrees. So since we have special angles here, so what we could do is to punch our calculator. So special angle of sine 30, that will be negative half of 60 as well. It's similar to that of sine 30. So that will be negative half plus, what about tan 45? Tan 45, remember it's a special angle, right, guys? So tan 45, it's 1, yes. So this will be 1. Then lastly, let's say negative and negative, that will be positive. 1 times 1, it's 1. 2 times 2, that will be 4. So we have 1 over 4 plus 1. If you punch this, you're going to have 4 cross multiply. We get, if you say this is 1 times 4, which is 4. 1 times 1, it's 1. Then 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 1, that will be 5. So making this to be 5 all over 4. So the solution here, guys, will be 5 all over 4. I hope I'm making sense in this, right? I hope I'm making sense, guys, right? So lastly, we are going to look at number 4. We are given cos 150 as well as in tan 225 and sine 270 and negative sine 60 and cos 480. So first thing first, remember whenever an angle is greater than 360, guys, always subtract it by 360, because here I can see there is 480 degrees, right? There's 480 degrees. We also have a negative angle. So but let's first reduce the numerator. If you reduce cos 150, it's the same as 180 minus 30, which is 150. So in this case, it's going to be cos 180 minus 30. What about tan? Tan will be 180 degrees plus 45 degrees. Then we have 270. 270 is a special angle. Yeah, it's a special angle. If you punch it on a calculator, you get -1. This will give you -1. It's a special angle, right? So we have sine -60. Sine -60, remember, we gotta leave it as negative sine 60. Take it out since it's a negative angle. So remember, this is found on the fourth quadrant. On the fourth quadrant, this is where sine is negative. So we are going to have negative sine 60. But if it was cos, it was gonna be positive, right? So we have cos 480. If we reduce 480, let's punch our calculator. Just say 480 minus 360. What are you getting there? You are getting 120, né? Right? So you're getting 120. So this will be cos 120 degrees. Are we done? Not yet. We are not done. Not yet. Let's proceed. How is cos at the second quadrant? It's negative, so it's going to be cos 30 degrees. How is tan? It's a home for tan, so this will be tan 45. Remember your -1, you go with it, guys. Right. So how is sine 60? Sine 60 is still gonna be negative sine 60. We don't want to rush. So we can reduce 120. When we reduce 120, it's the same as saying 180 minus 60, which is 120. So in other words, we're going to have cos 180 minus 60. How is cos at the second quadrant? That's going to be negative. So we're also going to have negative cos 60 here. Let's punch our calculator. Special angles. What is special angles of 30? Will be cos 30 to be negative √3 all over 2. You must know very well the special angles. Tan 45, it's 1. We also have -1. Let me just go to the denominator. What about sine 60? Sine 60, it's also going to be similar with cos 30. So this will be √3 all over 2. What about cos 60? Cos 60, remember, it's half. So it's going to be half. Then let's punch our calculator, guys. Negative √3 all over 2. 1 times -1 divided by negative √3 all over 2 times -half. What are we getting? We are getting 2 as a solution. So our solution is 2. It's very essential, guys, that you pause the video. Pause the video while I was doing it. Then after that you check. That's the best way to learn. If you're new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, like, comment. Wishing you all the best. See you in the next one.